Chief Olumide Adebayo sat in his grand office, staring out of the floor-to-ceiling window that overlooked the bustling city of Lagos. Adebayo Holdings, the company he had built from scratch, was at the peak of success. Yet, as he neared retirement, something troubled him deeply. Greed had seeped into the very fabric of his organization. For years, he had heard whispers of corruption, mismanagement, and fraud within his executive team. Reports from auditors never revealed anything substantial, but Olumide knew better. He had built this empire on discipline and honesty, and now, vultures circled it, waiting for his departure to tear it apart. He needed to find a worthy successor, someone who would uphold his legacy. But how? He couldn't rely on reports or recommendations anymore. He needed to see the truth with his own eyes. That night, he made a decision that would change everything. He called his most trusted aide, Bade, and laid out his plan. "I'm stepping down temporarily," he said. "From tomorrow, I won't be the CEO of Adebayo Holdings. I'll be Baba Tunde, the new cleaner." Bade's eyes widened. "Sir, a cleaner?" Olumide nodded. "I need to see who these people really are. Only then will I know who deserves to lead." The next morning, dressed in a faded blue janitor's uniform and wearing a fake beard, Chief Olumide walked into his own company as a humble cleaner. The test had begun. Chief Olumide pushed his mop down the long, polished corridors of the executive floor, his mind alert as he observed everything around him. The thick, expensive carpet beneath his feet muffled the sound of his movements, and the air smelled of imported air fresheners. This was where the company's power players worked, the people who controlled decisions worth millions. As Baba Tunde, he was invisible, just another faceless worker in the background. His first stop was the office of Mr. Bode, the chief financial officer. The door was slightly open, and as Olumide bent to mop the floor, he overheard a hushed conversation. "Look, we have to move fast before the old man announces his retirement," Bode whispered urgently. "How much have you siphoned so far?" another voice, belonging to Mr. Fatai, the head of procurement, responded. "Over 250 million naira. The auditors are clueless, and with chief planning to step down, we just need a little more time to clean up our tracks." Olumide's grip on the mop tightened. He had suspected corruption, but hearing it with his own ears filled him with silent fury. He had given these men everything: a trust, opportunity, wealth, yet they were looting his empire behind his back. But he couldn't react. Not yet. He had to gather more evidence. As he continued mopping, he noticed how most executives treated the cleaning staff with disregard. Some ignored him completely, while others barked orders as if he were beneath them. It was clear that power had corrupted many in his company. But not everyone. "Kai! Stop pushing the mop like that, Baba," a security guard scolded, stepping over the wet floor. Before Olumide could respond, a soft yet firm voice interrupted. "Excuse me, sir, but he's doing his job. You should be more respectful." Olumide turned to see a young woman standing confidently with a file in her hands. She was Kemi, a junior manager in the Human Resources Department. He had read her reports before, always detailed and insightful. Unlike the other managers, who enjoyed playing politics, Kemi focused on her work. The security guard muttered something under his breath and walked away. Kemi turned to Olumide with a warm smile. "Don't let them get to you, Baba. You're doing important work." For the first time since he stepped into this disguise, Olumide felt a glimmer of hope. Chief Olumide, disguised as Baba Tunde, continued his work, pushing his mop across the sleek floors of Adebayo Holdings. Days turned into weeks, and the more he observed, the clearer the truth became. Corruption ran deep in the company, and it wasn't just the executives. Many middle managers were also involved, cutting corners, stealing funds, and abusing their positions. But amidst the rot, there were a few good ones, one of them being Kemi. Each day, Olumide found himself paying closer attention to her. Unlike the senior managers who spent most of their time gossiping and plotting, Kemi was hardworking, respectful, and ethical. While other employees mistreated janitors and junior staff, she treated everyone with dignity. One afternoon, as he cleaned near the HR office, he overheard a heated argument. "I will not approve this." Kemi's voice rang out. Olumide paused, pretending to wipe a glass door while listening carefully. Kemi, don't be stupid. Another manager, Mr. Akin, snapped. This is how things work. You sign off on these ghost workers, and you get your share. I said no, Kemi replied, her voice firm. We cannot be paying salaries to people who don't exist. It's fraud. You think your integrity will feed you? You're just a junior manager, and if you don't cooperate, you'll regret it, Akin warned. Olumide's respect for Kemi grew. She was surrounded by corruption yet refused to compromise her values. He had finally found someone worth rewarding. But the real question was, how far would the corrupt executives go to silence her? The test was no longer just about finding a CEO, it was about ensuring that the good ones didn't get destroyed by the wicked. Chief Olumide sat in the janitor's closet, listening to the recording he had secretly captured in the boardroom. His hands tightened into fists as he replayed the conversation over and over. That night, he met with his most trusted ally, his personal assistant, Mr. Bade. Sir, you have all the proof you need, Bade said. I want a full board meeting scheduled for Friday, Olumide ordered. And I need this recording to be played at exactly 10 a.m. Friday arrived. The recording played in the boardroom, exposing the executives' fraud and their plot against Kemi. Shock and horror filled the room. Then, the doors swung open, and Chief Olumide stepped in, not as Baba Tunde, but as the billionaire CEO. The corrupt executives turned pale. Security, Olumide called. Escort these men out. With the corrupt executives removed, Olumide turned to Kemi. You were the only one who stood firm, he said. This company needs someone like you. Tears welled in Kemi's eyes. Sir, I was just doing what was right. That is exactly why I want you as the new chief operating officer. Gasps filled the room. Kemi's hands trembled. Sir, I don't know if I'm ready. Neither was I when I started this company, Olumide said with a smile. As he looked around, he felt peace for the first time in years. Adebayo Holdings was finally in safe hands. His mission was complete. The end.